This Sunday is, if you're counting, the 6th Sunday in the Easter season. And as we are getting ever closer to the Feast of Pentecost, we get these little hints that something is coming. Jesus in the Gospels that we keep reading starts introducing this idea of the Holy Spirit, the Paraclete, the Comforter that will be coming, that he will send after he ascends back into heaven. And we're also getting these wonderful stories from the Acts of the Apostles about the early Christian family and the love that binds that community together. So we're getting really the sort of the history book of the early church. The idea of the Holy Spirit is going to be coming and to be uniting the early group of believers as a family together in love. And so those very intimate ideas of our community really pervade these final weeks of the Easter season. Musically, we'll be reflecting a lot of those ideas. It's a little bit of a diversity of thematics that are going on. So some of the prayers kind of point us in different directions. And of course, it is also Memorial Day weekend, and we're thinking about honoring those in our community of love, those that have gone and given what Christ says is the greatest sacrifice for others, that there is no greater love than to lay down your life for your friends. So that idea of community, of love, of sacrifice being knit into this service. We'll start off with a great hymn, Ye servants of God, your master proclaim and publish abroad his wonderful name, which really talks a lot about the identity of this community as being one that shares the love of Christ throughout the world. This is a familiar Charles Wesley text. Of course, Wesley being the brother of John Wesley, who was a Church of England clergyman and felt like things needed to be reformed and have more methodology, leading to the Methodist Church. Interestingly, this text was written at a time that John and Charles Wesley were sort of becoming, they had some suspicion that they might actually be secret papists, that maybe some of their idea of reforming the Church of England was because they wanted to bring it back under the purview of Rome. And this hymn was in a batch of hymns that were possibly written to dispel any of those ideas and to really promote their ideas as non-papists, as non-Roman Christians, as Protestants. Oddly enough, though, this text very early on became paired with a tune that was from a Catholic hymn tune book from the German town of Paderborn, and hence the name of this tune is now known as Paderborn. But it's kind of funny that it was possibly written as sort of a pushback against this idea that maybe Charles Wesley was a secret Roman Catholic, and yet this text was associated with a tune that was very much in the Catholic tradition. As I say, in these narratives from beginning last week and certainly this week, we start to hear Jesus in the Gospels talking about, I'm preparing another comforter to come to you, a paraclete, an advocate. And so this week we will be singing those very familiar words, if ye love me, keep my commandments, and I will pray the Father, and he shall give you another comforter, that he may abide with you forever. And this is a setting by the contemporary English composer Philip Wilby. And it's really set as this expansive choral kind of a love song with these very rich chords opening it up and the sopranos singing that first melody. The choir also at communion will be singing a setting of the Ubi Caritas, that wonderful love hymn of the church, "Wherever love and charity are, there is God," in a very contemporary setting by Francis Pott that is very expressive and brings a new kind of window to those words as well. So as you are celebrating this 3-day weekend, we hope that you will take some time to remember what Memorial Day is about honoring those who have given themselves for the greater good of the community. And as you look to come together as community, we hope that St. John's will be part of that and that you will join us for worship, either here in person or on cable channel or our YouTube channel. But we invite you to worship with us here at St. John's Cathedral.